Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to bring you week one of the Majors division. All of the battles excluding Near versus Scott. The link will be in the description for his battle on his channel. And also Martin versus Syed, yeah, who weren't able to schedule this week, so they've got an extension. I'll maybe include their battle next week. So may as well jump right into it. First up, we've got Dylan versus Ryan. Dylan is a multiple champion in the league. Should definitely be a good battle. And let's get started. Leads off the Primarina versus his Kildare, which is named Ask Greninja, as he wanted Ask Greninja but got sniped like first pick. Flip turns into Toxapex. He is on the setup Primarina, Hoffagigas, Toxic Spikes out on both sides. Okay. Scald, no burn. Will-O-Wisp, definite burn. Seems like an identical turn for turn kind of thing going on here. Hex does very little. Even do a burnt Toxic Spike, that's wild. Here we see that Avalugg is... What am I looking for here? Heavy duty boots. Golbat with the Defog. And the Avalanche. And that's Mega Gallade, I believe. Knockoff, it's going to do a lot of damage. Return, not a lot of damage, so it's going to take off the Eviolite. Chandelier in front of a Toxapex is not ideal. Does a lot of damage to crit. Never mind. Another Shadow Ball takes it right down for a Toxic Spike. Ooh, that's risky. Could have covered. Okay, so Garchomp looks scarfed. Might be scarfed. It's not scarfed. That was a good bluff, to be fair. Especially if that Chandelier's scarfed. Rest on the Zygarde. Oh, another crit. Into a flip turn. Toxapex takes a Psychic. That's a good middle ground play, that, to be fair. That's a good choice. Another Psychic isn't going to do much to Mega Gallade. And that is Primarina down. And that is the game at 6-5. Shadow Ball to finally get down that Garchomp. Shadow Ball's the Greninja. No. Who calls their Keldeo Greninja? Shadow Ball's the Keldeo. What's that? Oh, Mega Cham in front of Tangrowth. We've seen Tangrowth in minors there, just absolutely wall Mega Swampert. Took a big hit there off Metacham. You want to be in front of a setup Mega Metacham. That is not where you want your walls to be. Mega Gold, no. Kildare with Surf. Now call for Gigas. The flip turn. Dylan really likes his Kildare. Tangrowth into Golbat. The games in Majors do tend to be a little bit longer in general. And you'll notice between, if you watch both the minors and the Majors, there is a lot of different quantity of turns. Very common theme. I assume that's just being slightly more competitive, but and that is a 4-0 win to Dylan. GG. Now next up we have Blair versus Steven. I covered this in my video. We have Zapdos, Dragapult, Substitute, Hidden Power Ice to break the sub, Clefable, The discharge, full power, well, the para. Switch out to Blissey. Interestingly, I don't know what the scissor set was, so I can't really comment on it. But it's curious that I have a spikes and a toxic spiker in my team with an Excel core. Um, Maybe he just wasn't bothered by rocks, so he didn't want to defog them away. But if I had brought toxic spikes, I wonder would have seen that on scissor or not. Um, I don't think it actually scissor set was really revealed in this game. Body press, which normally Slowbro would do historically, Slowbro would do practically nothing to Blissey. That addition of body press is such a good thing for it. Full power on static. Discharge on Clefable. That's not a good. That's not a good look for Clefable. In hindsight, I'm looking at this game and thinking that I should have left. I should have kept Zapdos alive and let Necrozma go down the Incineroar, but live and learn. So, watching back, I don't actually think, even from the very start, I don't think Necrozma actually did anything this game other than take up a slot, and I just kept it alive for whatever reason. I'm gonna call it week 1 rustiness. We'll see come week 5 or 6 if that's still the case. And Kelder on the. Let's see. There's Necrozma taking a facade. Alright, there it did something. It chipped. It got chip on Conkelder. Apologies to the Necrozma with its massive contribution there. Teleport, that's such a good move. So many Pokemon get that now. It is definitely worth, especially if you want momentum. You've got all your typical flip turner or your volt turners. Now you've got flip turn and you've got teleport. I would go and I would watch. I would look up move sets, see who learns them, and have a look at who learns teleport and who learns flip turn. It opens your draft a lot more to momentum, and it can open up games for you. Especially if they feel they have to switch. Especially if it's a slow Pokemon. Like Slowbro. Power Trip. This takes out the Zapdos, which is unfortunate. Mimikyu. That's so weak, man. This is what it is. I wonder. Should have run Banded? Just doesn't matter. Let's see, he gets off the aromatherapy. Probably become a wish here as well. This is a very long game. Okay. So, Incineroar. I double out. That attack tower, that was big. I feel like watching the battle, it's obvious how much mistakes I've made. I clearly wasn't thinking between turns. That's another thing I would recommend for battlers who aren't doing it very often, is sit and think about your turn each time. The last, I would say, 3 or 4 draft leagues I've been in, I just click the buttons without really thinking it through. Mainly because it was kind of done with draft leagues in general, but coming back into it's a habit I'm gonna have to break. Weigh up your options between each switch, what's likely to happen. Think about what they've just done. Like for example, Clefable had wished there. Instead of me thinking, right, what's he gonna do with that wish? I just doubled out in trying to get some momentum. Realistically, if I had Ice Beam there, there's a solid chance I could have took out that Incineroar, and the game was a lot more open for me in general. Also, take a time to assess your options. Like if I was to start right here, I know I'm waffling on over the battle. It's been covered. It's also had another 60 turns to go. Um, if I was to think during the battle, it just shows that I wasn't properly in the right mindset during the battle. I would watch. I would be looking at the turns. I would be looking at his team, looking at my team. I would have said, right, what does Sharpedo do? 2-hit KO on the Scissor. Oko's the Dragapult. Um, does a good chunk to Clefable. Has a chance to 2-hit. It would definitely 2-hit Slowbro. Has a chance to 1-hit. So it's definitely worth keeping. Arcanine was stopping Scissor from taking me out, so I know that's still valuable. Blissey was stopping Slowbro from getting off its poison, and just whittling my team that way. And Mimikyu, if I had a Sword Stance, would have been useful. So I could have came to the conclusion there that Necrozma was dead weight at that point. And I'm pretty sure I play Necrozma right to the end game. So it's worth stopping if you're stuck in a wee sort of back and forth at this point. To assess your options. If it's worth a sack to get the momentum into something. For example, I could have got into Necrozma, just kept swinging with it until something killed it, and then maybe let Sharpedo come in, let Necrozma drop, bring Sharpedo in, and start swinging, and I wouldn't have had to take that. Well, the body press was a bad prediction on my part, but I would have been able to get Sharpedo in without taking the body press, and the game could have potentially opened up for me there. Obviously, I made that mistake. You learn from them now. Especially watching it back. That's the other thing I would say is watch your battles back. Take the time to sit and criticize everything you do. Just so you learn from it. A lot of people, myself included, sometimes when I get properly frustrated, you'll sit and say, hacks cost me this. When, yes, hacks probably played a factor in it, but you could have also changed the game in your favour by different decisions. I would definitely say it's worth looking back to do it. I could have sword stanced here. The Scissor likely would have bullet punched me and finished the thingy, but I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, Heat Wave hits the Scissor. That's what I was thinking. So I still needed Necrozma for Scissor because I let Zapdos go down. I've also let Arcanine go down. So at this point I needed Necrozma. Before that I hadn't. Which is a shame. Yeah, it's a long one to watch. Only 30 turns. Oh yeah, just to bring it up. Bulky balance? Bulk? He called it. This is balanced bulk apparently. It's not stall. No, not at all. It's balanced bulk. Um, Gets a skull burn. It's not anything for me. Goes out to Scissor again. Back to Slowbro. I think I probably should have. Or did I? Maybe I did Hillbell. Yeah, Hillbell. Body press. Toxic. I wonder if I could have stalled this by. Well, I suppose I only have what 60 bells left anyway. He could have stalled me out of that with his 10 toxics left. I didn't run Natural Cure because I was playing for hacks. It's not an ideal way to play, but the freeze, first turn thaw, it didn't. Well, I suppose it did kind of matter because it could have went to Sharpedo. He would have still been frozen. He takes the crunch, scolds. Sharpedo down. No, that didn't matter. That switch did. Well, I suppose the question is, does he stay in? I think he does stay in. Just to try and get the scold. So if I didn't kill in that scenario, I should have definitely let the Necrozma go down. Sharpedo was down. This is where I lost the game, I believe. I don't know how much health I got. I could have sacked the Necrozma, or I could have brought the Necrozma because it completely walled. I didn't think of that sooner either. Unfortunately, with Phantom Force, this would have left it. Hypothetically, if I hadn't let Sharpedo down, yes, it's weak, but that leaves it with Conkeldurr, Clefable, and Slowbro versus Mimikyu, Necrozma, and Sharpedo. Necrozma would have walled the Conkeldurr. Sharpedo could have one-shot the. Sharpedo could have one-shot the Clefable. Had a chance to two-hit KO, especially if I'd done it this way. I definitely could have won. It is what it is. Still a great game either way. It's like I'd say watching this battle. I've now watched it 3 times, and now I see what I could have done different. I would approach it differently next time, and by learning from that will hopefully have made me a better player. That's worth checking out yourself. If you struggle, is simply watch back your games. It's the same in any game at all. And that one ends on a 3-0 to Blair. Fantastic game. He deserved to win. I could have won by playing differently. There's a couple of scenarios there where I could have won. It is what it is. We'll move on to next week. We've got Jermaine versus Kevin. Jermaine's last outing in this league, he was 0-5 before he dropped, so he's coming back hoping to get that, to fix that. Takes a wicked blow from Urshifu. Banded, I personally think it's broken. Crit, unfortunate for Jermaine there. Not ideal. Delphox in the Porygon. Urshifu in close combat. Meltmon is just a powerhouse. It's clearly bonded. Scolipede should sweep here. That's not a good place to be. Fortunately, the Sash saves him, which is just good prep. All in all, it's also the reason hazards are so important. Especially if you've got a sweeper, you get rocks up, breaks us up. First impression on Haxorus. I didn't actually know it got a first impression until I seen this bottle, so that's news to me. It'll come in handy. This grass knot here reveals actually that Delphox isn't choice scarfed. Or specs. That's not a great thing to take on your Gastrodon. And Delphox just putting in work this game. Realistically, there's the first impression again. Probably would have taken out the Delphox. Not saying Nidoran and Haxorus yet, I don't think. Florges with the Moonblast takes out Gastrodon. Corviknight, which is a favourite of Jermaine's. This is another thing, that Corviknight can't even take 2 wicked blows from Bandit or Urshifu. It is mental, and even like if you were to run Iron Defense, it's a crit anyway, so it just hits right through. Poison Jab takes out the Urshifu finally. That's just one drawback, is the 97 speed. And you basically revenge with, for lucky. Haxorus with its first impression, finally taking out the Delphox, which caused so many problems. Florges gets the kill. Did we even see? We didn't even get to see Ortharia. It would have been interesting scouting for my battle next week is if we'd seen it. 22 turn battle, exactly like I like them. Nier versus Scott. We're not showing that, sorry. That's going to be in the description. Thankfully, because it is a long ass game too. Adam versus Chris. We have Gergeist. That is not torn. That's Battlebond Greninja. Mega Diancie maybe. Umbreon, Rotom Heat, and Scyther versus Shaman, Licky Licky, Latios, Stack Attacker, Rapid Strike Urshifu, and Alola Marowak. I don't think we've seen Rapid Strike. Maybe it was in the game of the week. In minus. U-turn, turn 1. Into Stack Attacker. I wonder if anyone knows. Let me know in the comments if Urshifu Rapid Strike's as good as the single strike one. Oh, I forgot to say, leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the league battles. If you don't have the dock, this is the best way to watch them. You turn. I think it's clear from this battle that it is nowhere near as broken as the single strike. Special attack drop on the Moonblast. Shaman's such a bulky Pokemon as well. It's a fantastic little grass type, but it's definitely underrated. I know I think pretty sure it's like tier 3, but what is fantastic value. There's the Poltergeist I was telling you it got, and that is a lot of damage even for a resisted hit on Umbreon. Here comes Petal again, takes the Toxic, Natural Cure, I'll have that. Hmm. 13 turns in. Lead Seed. There's a Super. Stealth Rocks now, that should speed a little bit. You don't want to be switching Diancie on that. Foul Play, India Gyro Ball. Foul Play again. And Super Power. Now that was a fantastic turn of events. He basically suckered him into thinking that he didn't have the fighting stab, and that was just a fantastic turn. I have to appreciate that. And that is the first Pokemon down. Losing Umbreon in 20 turns is a big problem. I'm not entirely sure if we've seen the item on Rotom yet. Adam was boasting about his Psychic Dark Fighting Core. I don't see his Dark type. I called you out in that one. Hopefully he'll bring that next week, so we can see it in action. I believe he has Mega Tyranitar. And there is another Hydro. And this is the battle. People were saying that the Battlebond Greninja did nothing. You were saying it did get 2 in the minor leagues, so another Hydro mess. That's brutal. That's not ideal. I missed Dragon Tail. I don't really think that really mattered, to be fair. We're not done a whole lot. No, go. No, you don't want to be powered under scissor. Stab Joe Wing Beat. That's an interesting move, to be fair. Into Geargeist. Might see that'll help. That's when he passes out. Oh, Poltergeist with the big damage. I wish helped though. And there we go. I'll do a Marowak with the Poltergeist. It is so powerful. Such a great move. I drew a miss again. Oh, that's wild. Oh god, do it again. Please miss. Please miss again. Oh, brilliant. I'm done. I'd be so salty if that was me. Oh, imagine that. You missed like 3 or whatever it was. I didn't even count. You're like, right, this must be the one. I'm trying to kill me. Wow, Scissor has a bulk. Come on, please. Do not do it again. No extra sensor. There we go. We're being safe now. What a shame. I don't think it really mattered. They're all against Shaman anyway, but that was hilarious. That was beautiful. Oh, down goes Urshifu. Rapid strike. Back to the oven. Pretty much GG here. No. Oh, okay. Dark Pulse works. Does he have any hydros left? He has 2, he's just not clicking it. I think at that point you probably land one. I would hope. There's me again and the Giga Drain. No idea. Latios. Pain Split. Surf. Down goes. Okay, here we go. Couple of flinches. Oh, okay. Well, that was entertaining, definitely. 64 turns. And it's Chick versus Goy. 64 turns in Greninja was fantastic there. Mama Swine and Gligar. So sorry. Mega Alakazam and Tabalele in one of the most broken teams. With Gligar, Delmise, Suicune and Primeape. Oh. Down goes the Tapu Fini. You don't want that early. Versus Metachan, Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Mega Gyarados, Landorus, Jolteon, and Metachan. Oh, and down goes the Delmise. Metachan is such a powerful Pokemon. Oh, well, it was questionable. Bit of Punch and Psychic Terrain. Forgot how that goes. And then, obviously, it was blocked. Suicune takes that. Hits for the Toxic. Not ideal. Gligar takes the knockoff. Also not ideal. Back to Suicune. To the Ice Crash. Don't think it quite mattered, to be fair. And here we go with Tapu Lele. Psychic does the job. Jolteon with Air Balloon. Now, Hidden Power is allowed in this league. It is national, which means the games from the moves from last gen, like Pursuit and such, are both. Oh wow! Expanding Force Alakazam does not mess around. Does he stay in? Energy Ball. Takes a Waterfall. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. That's why I did that. And Moonblast takes out the Tabalele. Don't think it matters whether you make it or not. It's banded. Nope. It's not even Scarf. It's going to be more about Toxic's the Landers. I think Jake is going to be one of those. I think is going to be right there around the end of the draft. Potential finalists, maybe even win it out. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure I found Jake in one of the most. Don't know what way to say this nicely. Worst run draft leagues that I'd ever seen in my life. A couple of guys here are from them. And Donald versus David, which I did for Battle of the Week. Yeah, Jake, he's obviously a fantastic battler now. Jose was another one from that league. That's relevant. So it is worth getting yourself out there to try random leagues, even if they don't seem to be the greatest leagues. You'll find some battlers there who can always make your league stronger. In PFL, we're always looking to get the leagues, looking for more competition for the leagues, just to make it more competitive. It's very tough at the minute. So there's the Amingus, Giga the Scissor. Scissor shows its choice band with the U-turn. Tapu Koko with the U-turn. And England Polytoad. Sorry, it's late in the day. Been a long one. 32 minutes so far, and we are in another long bit. I'm pretty sure that the last video was like 35 in total. And we have 2 videos in this one we're not covering. Most of the battles you'll see, there wasn't really any. I think there was one 20-turn battle and that was it. So probably be the same as my battle versus Kevin next week. Whether I win or lose, probably will be like 20 turns. It's that Urshifu, man. It's mad. Okay, Krillin, the Amingus gets you on. Bell from, I don't know, Thunderwave from Mew, knockoff, loses leftovers. So I got a message. Flamethrower, full para, that's unfortunate. If you got the Hail Bell off there, doesn't matter, I don't know. You could have wished. Flamethrower burn, doesn't particularly matter too much either. I think I would have put it up a tier, I suppose, and made it almost unaffordable to run draft teams. But I feel like Polytoad could have definitely got flip turn. Unfortunate that it didn't. Starmie got it. I don't see why they couldn't give it to Polytoad. I don't think Starmie particularly needed it. There's you turn out to Scissor again. The next person was Flame Body Burn. That's very frustrating for Dave. King to on the Blastoise. I guess is where he gets his Heal Bell up. Yep. Sitting on a potential close combat here. I don't know if it's seen Zeraora at this point. Substitute. This is a fantastic set, by the way. Rising Voltage. Just to take out the Tapu Koko. Nice shot. And into Polytoad. Out the Swampert. Substitute. I don't want to sit in on that. Out the Scissor. Grass Knot. The U-turn, the rising voltage boost is gone permanently for the rest of the game. U-turns Zeraora into Swampert. Swampert with the EQ does a huge chunk to Amoonguss. I mean, that was such a turn. Amoonguss goes down. Amoonguss was there for the Tapu Koko, so I kind of felt personally that he would let it go down too. Moltres again. Does it get the flame body burn again? It does. Unfortunate. But at least this time he is no longer having to deal with that. Para. Comes Politoed. Takes the rising voltage, does one heck of a chunk. Encore. That's a free switch into Swampert. I wonder if. Could have predicted that, perhaps. With noting for the next games. So another thing is, like, you can't predict what. Like, Donald did what I didn't do in my battle, whereas he took the previous turn. He'd seen that Zeraora was locked into an electric move. Swampert was an obvious choice to come in there, and he used it as the opportunity to get into his Kyurem, the Swampert answer. That's a fantastic turn, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is sometimes you just need to stop, reflect on what you're doing, just like Donald did there, and he got the momentum in his favour. He completely stopped what the Politoed was trying to do, and therefore eliminated a problem. I'm personally surprised Yawn isn't a sound-based move and hits through subs. I feel like it should be. Maybe it is. We'll look that up. I don't know though. I'll check after the game. So we're on turn 56 with Kingdra with the flip turn, followed by Grassy Glide, which doesn't take out the Swampert. Stealth Rocks are huge here, it helps him break through the Moltres. Yawn. Down goes Moltres' health, just like that. Sometimes why like Stealth Rocks is so important, like it can help you just break a team. Hidden Power Fire gets revealed on the what's that thing called? Zeraora. Flip turn into this. The other thing was with that last turn. With Moltres gone, he never had to predict once. He could always just EQ and hit something. Sub completely walls this. $29 freeze tries, 13 wrath powers. I think the last move must have been Roost. There's one thing you need to not be. I know everyone likes to avoid certain tactics, but sometimes I find if you have a Pokemon, you're in a stalemate with two Pokemon, and you can't break it per se, but with a certain Pokemon, the problem is they can take out that Pokemon while you attempt it. There's no shame in just completely stalling their moves out. You have to use attacks to hit things, and He had sub Roost. Sub has 10 left. Roost is 15. Realistically, what Dave could have done here is, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but he could have let his Oddno sit there and struggle. Total struggle. Wasted the moves down. It was already a 100-turn battle anyway. He has 6 wishes here. Use up the yawns, use up the wishes, use up the heal bells. And there's no shame in that. Unless you're on Wi-Fi, then you're a bad person. I feel like if it had went to the point where Donald had no attacks left, like, was he using his freeze dries? He still had 23 freeze dries left, of course. So, I mean, it wouldn't really have made a difference. But if you could have forced him out, like here, for example, if he'd switched out and switched back to Oddno, here, that was another freeze dry on, I suppose. This is what it is. That'll be GG. Down goes the Zara Aura. And I believe me paralyzes Oddno. Because, I mean, Oddno's just set up fodder at this point anyway. So, like, not even just looking back in your own battles, like watching other people's battles like this and thinking about what could have been played differently. This is the 3rd time I've watched this battle, hence why I'm sort of looking at it thinking, right, what could have been different. Personally, I wouldn't have thought at the time, but it's a fun way to watch battles and try and learn from them, make yourself better at the game. It was a surf. I think, yeah, he gets a few powers here and that's GG. Couple of powers here as well, I think. Would I be right in saying? Flare Blitz against the rain team, that's interesting. Obviously it was for the scissor, but I mean, like I said, it is interesting. Flare Blitz again, because he does, at this point, nothing really breaks him. Powers won't help either. But even if he did kill the Mew, freeze drive from Kieran finishes the game anyway. Grassy Glide, full para, Grassy Glide, full para, and Grassy Glide, and that's GG. It is how it is. Fantastic game as well. Another one of those long ones, 110 battles this one. Scott's battle was an incredibly long one as well. Make sure you check that out in the videos. And hopefully see us back for next week for week 2 of the PFL Majors. If you didn't mind this, I know it's a bit of a long video. If you didn't mind watching them one after the other, then just let me know. I can do them separately if you want. If you didn't like my talking over it, you can just mute the video, I suppose. And yeah, that's everything. Please subscribe so you can get and press the notification bell so that you can at least follow all of the battles for PFL. Each week I'll do one of these videos, probably on a Monday. Tuesday today is when I'm recording. And thank you. Until next time, I will see you then, and stay creative.